Hey, what's going on, everybody? Before you guys get into the video, I just want to quickly showcase what you guys will be learning how to do today. You're going to be learning how to create a level mechanism with the progression bar mechanism and the cache mechanism. It's just, cache that goes up, levels that go up, and then whenever you stop the game or leave the game and then join it again, it's going to be the same level, the same progression, and the same cache. So, this video is pretty long. I think it's 33 minutes long. If ever you don't want to follow along, you just want the scripts, you can go ahead and join the Discord, copy paste. I'm going to put it over there. If at any point of the video you have any questions, you want clarifications, please tell me. Like, just go to Discord, go to comment section, tell me. I will 100% answer you. I am here for all of you guys who want to learn how to program with Lua. So okay, with that, I'll let you guys get into the video. I hope you appreciate it. Much love, guys. Take care. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to set up a level system, a XP progress bar system, and a cache system that saves whenever you leave the game. Now, we're going to be working with data stores in this game, and I really recommend that you guys watch the first video on data stores that I made, because I won't actually be explaining like most of the script that we're going to do in this video, because I'm pretty sure this video is going to be really long, so because we have a lot to cover. So if ever you're interested in actually understanding what's happening, just watch the first video on data stores that I made. If ever you don't want to follow along and you just want the scripts, that's fine too. I'm going to link the Discord channel in the comment section. You can just go in it, copy paste the code, and then leave if you have to. It doesn't really matter. That's just if you want the scripts immediately. If you do want to follow along, I'll try to keep this simple, as simple as this can get. So yeah, if ever you have any questions, ask in the comment section or in the Discord, and I 100% will answer you. So let's dive straight into it. The first thing you want to do is go to game settings, and you actually want to save the game. So once you've saved it, you go to security, and you want to allow HTTP requests and enable studio access to API services, and this just allows us to use data stores and whatnot, so turn those on. Okay, so all right, let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is you're going to design the the GUIs. So this, you're going to want to add a screen GUI inside a frame. I like to put it in the center of the screen, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be transparent. Now I'm going to rename this frame to player stats. Now inside this, I want to put a text label, and this text label is going to represent our level. It's just going to display our level. And what I like to do is I like to go down here and scale the text. So text scaled. I want to change the text to level 0, and I want to change the font to Indie Flower because I like the Indie Flower font. Now make the background transparency to 1, turn it to 1, and that's basically your level. Now want to just paste it here, duplicate it, place it here, and this is going to be the cache. So you just go back down to text and you say cache : 0. Okay, and I'm going to rename this to simply cache, and I'm going to rename this to simply level. Okay, now we're going to want to add our progression bars. So you want to put a frame, and I like to change this to a dark gray color, so like this, and you want to go down to scale, to size, and you want to scale it. So the scale that I like is 430, so 430, and for the Y I like to put just 40. Okay, so this is going to be the progression bar, and I'm going to rename this to just prog bar. Now inside it, add a frame, and you want to scale it down again. So to scale it, don't look at the X for now, just look at the Y. The Y is going to be I guess 25 is fine. Okay, and you want to put it in the middle. So now that's done, I'll explain the logic. So the logic is just going to be, well, you're going to start at a certain XP, and then whenever it goes up to a certain value, and we're going to say 410, you see this value, whenever it hits 410, we want it to go back, and whenever it goes back, we're going to level up once. So it's literally just a progression bar, and okay, I'm just going to rename it prog for progression. Okay, so we have the progression bar. We can place it down here. Oops. We can place it down here. So place it, center it, and then move the level a bit down. So like this. Okay. Alright, everything looks pretty fine. So now I'm going to start simple and then we'll gradually get harder. Let's start with setting up the cache system, and that's really easy. To do that, we first need to create the leader stats. So I'm going to go in service script service, add a script, and I'm going to rename this to leader stats. So you just do game.players.player added, connect function, and you grab the player. Now you want to create the folder. So local leader stats is an instance dot new folder. You want the leader stats dot name to just be leader stats, and you want the leader stats dot parent to be the player. So we're just putting a folder inside the player. Now you want to create the cache, and that's just an instance dot new integer value. You want the cache dot name to just be cache, and you want the cache dot parent to be leader stats. And hop in game and you'll see what that looks like. This is what it looks like. Just a simple cache integer value inside a leader stats. So now we want something that's going to let us update cache so that we can, actually see how we're going to save it and whatnot. So to do that, you go inside game.workspace and you add a part. You add a click detector, you add a script inside, and the code is really simple. It's just script.parent.mouse click, connect function, grab the player, and you just say player, wait for a child, leader stats, find first child cache, dot value plus equals 1. And we can check and see if that works. Should work completely fine. So as you can see, once we click this, the cache goes up by 1. Now there's two things that we want to do after this. We want 1 to update the cache GUI, and 2, we want to save this whenever we leave the game. So let's tackle number 1, and that's to update the cache GUI. To do that, you need to go into cache and insert a local script, and to link this local script to this script, we need a remote event. Okay, so I'm going to create a remote event and I'm going to call it GUI. And inside this script that we just made, you want to define the event. So local event, it's just game get service, replicate storage, wait for child GUI. And then whenever we're updating our cache value, we also want to update the GUI. So we just want to fire client and send the player. And in here, we'll just copy this line. And in the local script, you want to define what the event does. So event.onClient event connect function. And all you want to do is just script.parent, which is the cache, as you can see, .text is equal to cache :space, and you want to add the player, wait for child, or sorry, you have to define the player first. So you just do local player is game.players.local player, and you go in here, you go player, wait for child, leader stats, find first child cache, dot value, and okay, that's pretty much it. You can go check and see if this works. So whenever we update the cache, we also update the cache GUI. So this works completely fine. That's absolutely awesome. And now for the final part for the cache, we want to save it once we leave the game. So to do that, we need to add a script here, and we're going to work with data stores. Now, data stores, as I've said, kind of complicated, but not all that. I've mentioned that in a previous video. And again, before we get into it, if you want to understand, this is not the video. This video won't help you understand data stores. If you want to understand them, you'd have to go to the previous one, because I won't actually explain them. Well, you know what? I can explain it a little bit, but not in detail. So if you actually want to understand them, just go on the other video. So the first thing you want to do is define the service, and that's game get service data store service. Then you want to define the data store that we're going to be working with, cache data store, and that's service get service colon get data store, and you can call it cache. Now game.players.player added connect function, and you want to add the player, except that, well, we're going to use this, but usually when working with data stores, you want to, blah 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 dot instance new int value whatever. We don't need to do that since the cache is already created inside the leader stat script. So the cache value is already set in the game, so all we have to do is just save it and load it. We don't have to create something. So game.players.player removing connect function, add the player, and you want local success error is equal to pcall function, and you want to define the cache. So local cache value is player wait for child leader stats find first child cache dot value, and you want the cache data store to set async player dot user id cache comma cache value. So now we're saving the cache, and if success, we want to just print successfully saved data, else we want to warn error. Alright, we want to say what the error is. Now in here you have to call a cache value, and you have to actually grab it. So local success error is equal to pcall function, and we want the cache value to be equal to the cache data store get async cache data store get async of player.user id cache. So we're just grabbing whatever we previously saved, and you want to say if success, then you want the player wait for child leader stats find first child cache dot value to be equal to cache value. That's it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do the print, but whatever. So as you can see, it works. 13, you go up, I say 33, whatever, we leave, and we come back, and we still have 33, but there's a problem with the GUI, and that's because we're not setting the GUI equal to something whenever we're hopping in the game. So to fix that, I'm actually just going to complete the code. You just have to add a print statement. So print successfully loaded data, and this isn't completely mandatory, but it's good practice to be able to catch errors and to know whenever it was successful. Now to set the the GUI value, you just do player wait for player wait for child player GUI, or you know what, just do player dot player GUI wait for child, what was it, screen GUI wait for child, what was it, player stats wait for child cache dot text is going to be equal to cache colon space dot cache value. Okay, we hop in it, cache 33, update, let's say 47, or I mean 57, we leave, then we hop in it again, and we have 57. So now you have a cache system that saves and works, and I mean, I guess that's maybe 25% of the work done. So that was good. We finished it in I don't know how much time. That's part 1 done. Okay, now let's get into the more complicated script. So how are we going to do this? The first thing, before we get into it, I want to explain how this is going to work. Okay, inside progress, I'm going to put a local script. Okay, now progress, this local script inside progress is going to keep track of 2 variables. It's going to keep track of the level variable and of the progress variable. So we're going to need 2 remote events. Okay, we're going to need a level remote event, and we're going to need a progress remote event. Okay, and both of these are going to be used inside data store, but that's for later. Okay, now whenever well, actually, I'm not going to do a cache. I'm going to create another part, okay? And this other part is going to give us XP, a certain amount of XP, okay? So this part, you add a click detector. Inside that, you want to add a script, okay? And you just want to say, well, first you need to define the event that you want to fire. So this is going to give us XP. So local event is going to be game get service replicate storage wait for child, I think progress, yeah, progress. And then whenever the script dot parent dot mouse click, you want to connect function, grab the player, and you want the event to fire client, pass the player. Now what we actually want this script to do, like other than just firing the event, we want to give the player a random amount of XP. So to do that, you just do local XP reward is math.random, and I'm going to say something between, I don't know, 50 to 70. We can adjust it later, and we actually want to pass the XP reward. So whenever we click this, we get a random XP reward. So now you go inside the local script that we put in progress, and we want to define the event. This is the event, and you want to say event dot on client event connect function, and you can grab the reward value that we just passed. And what you want to do is you want this reward to actually scale the progress bar, okay? So to do that, you first need to define the current, size of the progress bar. So you do local current XP is equal to script dot parent dot size dot x dot offset, and that's the current XP. So I'm just going to show you guys what the offset is. The offset is this, it's the 4, okay? 4 is offset. So what we want to do is we want to add to this, the first value that you see, we want to add the XP reward so that it can scale it. So we get the current XP, and you just want to do local final XP, I guess, is going to be equal to current XP plus reward. And finally, you want to scale the GUI, so you just do script dot parent dot size is equal to udim2 dot new 0 final XP 0, and what was the, I'll explain all of this in a second, just hold on. What was the it was 25. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you that this works. So as you can see, we're getting a random reward, and it goes to infinity for now. We're going to fix it later. So what are we doing here? First of all, we're getting the current XP, which is this, as I said, it was the offset. And then we're adding to the current XP the random reward that we generated here, and then we're scaling it. So to scale a to scale a GUI the way we want to scale it, you need to do udim2.new, and udim2.new is just the size. So if you go here and you go down to size, you can see that size has actually 4 different values. It has scale x, offset x, scale y, offset y, and we just put them all in order. So whenever we want to resize the script.parent, we're setting the x scale to 0, 0. We're setting the offset to the final XP. We're setting the y scale to 0, and we're setting the y offset to 25, because these two never change and this 0 never change. The only thing that we want to change is the offset. Okay. So that's, I think I explained it pretty well. So now we get a random reward. Now notice how whenever we click, it doesn't stop, like it doesn't go back. And that's because, well, we haven't set a go back logic. So we want it to go back whenever the progress bar hits 410. Okay, like whenever it hits 410, or whenever it gets bigger than 410, we want it to actually go back to 0. So to do that, well, you just say if final XP is bigger than 410, then you want to resize this here. You want to resize this. For now, we're going to say 0. It's not going to be 0. It's not always going to be 0. Okay, we're going to fix it in a second, and I'll explain why. But we just want to check and see if that works. So it does in fact work. Whenever we hit bigger than 410, it goes back. Okay, now why won't it be 0? It won't be 0 because imagine we're like here and we get 100 XP, for example. We don't want it to go back to 0. We want it to go back to like 100 or almost 100, right? Because we still have leftover XP. So to calculate this leftover XP, you just go here and you say if final XP is bigger than 410, then, well, first you have to define a remaining XP. So local remaining XP is equal to 0. And you want to say remaining XP is going to be equal to final XP minus 410. So we're just grabbing we're just grabbing the rest of the final XP once we're resending it back to 0. Okay, so the remaining XP is going to be equal to the total XP that we found when adding both of them together minus 410, and then you want to scale it here to remaining XP. And let's just say that we start with 400. Okay, so let's just say we start with 400, and let's say that the reward is going to be 100. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys what this does. If we start to 400, we click here. As you can see, it doesn't go back to 0. It actually just adds the remaining XP. So this should be 90, but yeah, so okay. Now we have the logic for scaling the thing. So that's good. Now, how do we make this? Actually, before I continue, I'm going to set the size to 0 or to 1. There you go. Now, how do we make it so that whenever the bar hits the end, it goes back and we level up once? To do that, you have to work with this, because this is what tracks the, this is what tracks whenever we're resetting the bar. So we're going to work inside this. And what we want to do is we want this level to go up by 1, and we want the player to actually save that value. So to do that, you have to go inside data store. Okay, and you want to define, this time we have to define a new instance. So local current level is going to be instance.new integer value, and you want the current level.name to just be current level, and you want the current level to be inside the player. Okay, so we're just creating an integer value and we're storing it inside player. Okay, now whenever this happens, whenever we're resetting the progress bar, we want this value to go up by 1. We want the current level to go up by 1. So how do we do that? We need to link the local script to the script. So to do that, we need an event. So we just define an event here. So local event 2 is going to be game get service replicated storage wait for child level. Okay, so whenever this happens, we want to fire the event 2. Okay, fire server. There you go. So now we're firing the second event. Okay, now we have to define what happens when the second event is fired. So we go here and we can hop in a game and see if that works. We can go inside player, inside this. We have the current level integer value. We go here, boom. What happened? Current level typo. Whoops. There you go. Now it should work. So again, player, boom, current level, you go up by 1. As you can see, the value is in fact updating. Don't look at this since we haven't worked on this yet. Just look at here. The value is in fact updating, and that's really good because this is going to set the whole logic for us. So what we want to do before we get to GUI, we want to save it. So local level value is just player dot, what was it called? Current level dot value. And you want the level data store. Did I not define it? God damn it. You have to define another data store, and we're going to call it level data store. It's service get data store, and you can call it level or whatever you want. go back here, level data store, set async player dot user ID level, comma, level value. So we are saving the level. Okay, that's good for us. Now we can go inside here, local success error, and you can just first define a value, so local level value, and you want to set the level value equal to level data store get async player dot user ID level, comma, oh no comma. There you go. So now we're loading it, and if it's loaded, then we want the player dot what was it called, current level dot value to be equal to level value. Okay, so we can see if in fact it works. And don't worry about this, this always happens when you first run it. Go to current level, it's at 0 now. We go here, we update it, let's say to 3. I'm going to leave the game and I'm going to join back, and if I go check, it should be 3 again. So it is in fact 3. So we created a value, we set the value logic, and we're saving the value, and we're loading it. So we did really good. I'm actually really happy. So that's good. Now, what do we want to do with this? Well, the first thing we want to do is to obviously set the text. So we want this to show level 3, right? So to do that, you just do player dot player GUI, wait for child screen GUI, wait for child player stats, wait for child level dot text is equal to level space dot dot level value. So now when we load in, it should work completely fine. We get a level 3. Let's go. So right, we haven't set the update logic yet. Don't worry about it. But whenever we join, it should have leveled us up, I think 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Good. So now let's set the updating logic, the level up logic. So to do that, again, we have to work in here. Why? We have to work in here because this is what resets the bar. So we have to define the current level. So local current level is equal to player wait. Oh, I didn't define the player. Whoopsies. You have to define the player. I'm just going to define it up here. So local player is equal to game dot players dot local player, and you want to say local current level is equal to player wait for child current level dot value, and you want the script dot parent dot player stats dot level dot text. Don't worry about this. It's really bad practice to do it like this, but it doesn't matter. Is equal to level space dot dot current level plus 1, or I mean no, trust current level is going to plus equal 1. There you go. So now it should work completely fine. Let's see, level 6, level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10. We leave, we join back, and we have level 10. Let's go. Everything is working perfectly up until now. Now let's do the final part of this video. We have to do the progression bar saving. So whenever, example, we're at this, we leave the game, we want to load back exactly like this. So to do that, you go inside data store. Okay, you create a new integer value, and this is going to be called XP position. Okay, current XP, just to keep consistency with the first thing, is equal to instance.new int value. Okay, current XP.name is just going to be current XP. Current XP.parent is going to be player. All right, so how do we update the current XP value that we created inside the player? So to do that, what you have to do is here, whenever we are updating the bar. Actually, we don't want to work with this. Whenever the event is fired is whenever we want to work with this. So what we want to do is we want to fire this event again. Okay, we want to fire it from the from this event. We want to fire it again. So first, you need to define the past xp, and that's just script.parent.size.x.offset, and you want the event to fire server, and you want to pass the past xp. Okay, and this is the progress event that we're firing. So we go back to data store, and we have not defined the progress event. So you just say, well, you can go here, you say local event is equal to game get service replicated storage wait for child progress, and you want to say event dot on server event connect function, and you want to grab the player and the past xp, and you want to set this, you want to set the current xp, so current xp dot value, you want to set it equal to the past xp. Okay, so we're updating the current xp dot value, and we can go and check and see if this works. So you go inside player here and here, this is the current xp. Right now it's at 0. Okay, so if we update it, it updates to 69. We updated 124, updated 178, and updated, now it's at 399. Boom, it's at 44. So as you can see, this is updating consistently. You know, it's actually working. Okay, now that we have the upgrade logic, we want to save it. So you go here, local progression value, I guess, is equal to the player dot current xp dot value, and we have to create another data store, so that's 3 data stores. So local progression data store is service get data store progression, sorry, my phone is distracting me, and yeah, I don't like the capital P. So okay, we're defining the 3rd data store, and you want the progression data store to set async player dot user id alright, I'm just gonna call it prog for progression, comma progression value. There you go. Now we are saving it, and now we have to load it. So if you go back here, you have to define something. So local current position, you have to say current position is equal to progression data store get async, and it was player dot user id progression. There you go. And finally you do player dot player GUI wait for child screens UI wait for child I think it was progression bar, wait for child, I think it was progression dot remember it's dot size equal to udim2.new, because remember, to scale a GUI you have to scale it the way we want it to scale, you have to do this, and it's going to be 0 comma current position comma 0 comma, and was it 25? I keep forgetting. You have to go back here, size, yeah, it was 25, you see, so 25. There you go. Now it should work completely fine, and let's actually check and see. So update it, I'm going to keep it here, stop, successfully save data, load, and it stops right here. Let's go. We did it. Nice. Now we have the level progression, and the cache that is saving completely fine. Damn. So guys, I hope you followed along, and I hope you understood everything that I did. If you didn't, don't worry. Like, it takes a little bit of time to understand. If you have any questions, join Discord, ask away, or ask in the comment section. Anyways, I promise I will answer you, like I promise. So yeah, if you want the scripts, it's in the Discord. I hope this video was simple enough. And look at us, bro. We're making progress. This is really good. Like if you want to make a game, this is good. Now there's one thing before I end the video that I'd like to say. Using the offset and not scaling the GUIs is bad practice, because on different screens it's going to look a bit off. But don't worry, like scaling GUIs is pretty easy. You just need like a plugin. I'm gonna teach you guys how to do it later, not in this video. But listen, we did it. Okay, so you guys can be proud of yourself if you followed along. If you made it, this far in the video, you are 100% allowed to be proud of yourself. So that's good. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you appreciate this video. I hope you guys know that I appreciate you guys more. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.